Okay, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So our group will report all about food and beverage sector. So food and beverage sector, it includes mga restaurants, coffee shops, cafeterias, or mga kinds of kanang-kananan. Like, makita nimo ang food and beverages. Of course, matakot po diri ang types of restaurants, mga differences of mga restaurants, like kalahian sa usa-usa natin daghan ng mga types of restaurants. Of course, the main highlights here is to give different types of service to our guests, customers. Okay? Something ba? Okay, so our learning outcomes, number 1, we have traced the history of food and beverage industry, describe the different types of restaurants, explain the importance of franchising to the restaurant industry, discuss restaurant profitability and calculate food cost percentage, gross profit, and average guest check, calculate the restaurant's break-even point, explain the rule of menu in a restaurant success, differentiate airline catering from restaurant catering, and lastly, discuss restaurant promotion.
So, pleasant good morning everyone. So, we're going to report the history of food and beverage service. So, first is we're going to discuss the early history to present. So, in early history, there was much evidence that certain groups of people are cooking together with a big group, and that the early ends provided a crude menu. So, since food, different food and drinks is a part of human needs, mano. So, there's a different group of people daw nga they're cooking together with a big group, and they serve as group meal or big meal. So in Roman era, some establishments are offering sausage, roast meat, bread, and a cup of wine. So in Roman era, kuno doon na mga establishments nga nag-open og nag-offer og mga different dishes, no? So in the fortune of a modern restaurant that provide hot food and drinks also develop in Rome. So doon na po yung mga modern restaurants, mga restaurants establishments nga nag-offer og food and drinks in Roman era. So next is many of the early restaurants were in the cities, in near templates and government building. So doon na daw ko ng mga restaurants establishments nga nag-open doon sa government building. So kung makita ninyo nga doon ay mga sa inyong local government, doon ay mga restaurants nga nagtukod doon sa inyong government building. So that's one of examples. So next is 1200 century public cook shop were open in London, which offered pre-cook and take-out. So in 1200 century, maka order na ta og cook, and maka take out na ta og mga different foods, no, in 1200 century. So next is the royal families of Europe introduced the cutlers, table linens, crystal glasses, new foods such as a turkey of potato, and the roadside tavern. So mao na ni siya ang mga royal families na is nag-introduce og mga cutlers, like mga kanang cubiertos. So mao na siya. So next is In 17th century, the ordinaries became fashionable clubs and gambling places as well as the center of political activities. So sa una, ang word nga restaurants is dili na siya ginatawag pa na siya nga ordinaries. So ang food, ang mga different dishes nga giserve is gitawag nga ordinary. Then ang dining room is gitawag nga ordinaries, IES. So mo na siya. So ang ordinaries kuno in 17th century nahimo na siyang fashionable clubs. So nanay mga different activities nga ginahimo sulod sa establishments, like kanang sa karon isang casino. So mo na siya example ana. So in 17th century nahimo na siyang fashionable clubs. And in 18th century, the word restaurants was used for Paris, dining rooms serving lunch dishes. So, mo na ni siya gamit na ang word nga restaurants in 18th century sa Paris, no, sa France. So, next is the second World War II. It brought many changes to American public. People became richer. The automobile made them more mobile, and this shifted to suburban areas of cities. In 1960, fast food establishments emerged. So, in Second World War, no, ako ang pagbago sa mga American, no, ang mga dato, mas ni dato pa, ug ang mga sakyanan nila, mga cars, mga or automobile, mas ni lambo pa or ni damo pa. So that's why in 1960s ang mga fast food establishments nilambo pod kay tungod sa damo nag-travel. So kung damog mo travel, damog mo kaon, kay kinahanglan mo jud mo kaon kung mo travel ta. So damog mo kaon sa mga fast food establishments. So mo nang ni tako pod siya. So at the present, modern popular cuisine including French cuisine, Chinese, Mexican, and Japanese have become common in most cities. The role of food and beverage plays in tourism may not be direct but indirect and attraction. So mano ni siya, I believe sa some of you nga naka-sud na og restaurants establishments. So mo na siya at present na mga popular cuisine nga gisundog sa iba't ibang bansa. So like ang mga different dishes gikan sa ibang bansa pag usang klase nga na dishes og like kanang table sit up. So ingon ana. So that's all.
Okay, so good day everybody. My topic turn is all about types of restaurants. So when we talk about type of restaurants, of course, kita na experience kita mga restaurants like so hotels or yung experiencean. Pero of course, namin gana siya gitawag na mga differences or kind or kalahian sa usap-usa. So, of course, for example, susot ka sa ka restaurant and your experience was kanang serve sila kanang food, specific food or kanang Korean food. Of course, na siya ito yung mga names or types. Di na siya kasaingon nga restaurant, kana na to siya, restaurant mo na to siya. No, of course, na extra gitawag na to nga type or name. Okay? So, are you ready to know about the names or types? Okay, let's start. Number 1. Types of restaurants. Family or commercial restaurants. So, from the name family, commercial restaurants. Family-style restaurants offer a wide menu of meat and potato selection with a price range that appeals to average family income. So, usually, kaning meat and potato Basically sa kuan ni siya mga American countries or sa European countries. Kaya of course kita mga Asian will love to eat rice, so of course basically mom gonna sa gawas no like when meat lang sila potato. So they serve beer and wine if they have liquor license. The decor is bright. A combination of counters, tables, and booths is common. Parking is necessary since customers usually arrive by car. So usually no, ang kanisya mga family restaurant located yun siya sa mga highways or sa mga kanang karsada lang siya. Of course, kay naman kita yung mga kanang kuan, mga family nga kanang di car, of course, and di man sila ganahan na kanang mo sikot-sikot pa, of course, dito sila parking, then dito sa dayon sila sa kanang kuan, that kind of restaurant. So of course, let me example no mga kuan, like kalendarya, like kuan na siya no local, kuan na siya name brand, of course, maka-occupy ka pa sila mga wide people, makakuan sila family. Kaya of course, ang kanang mga kuan, mga calendar, naman sila sa kanang karsada, mga ana, for example, diba? Then, parking is necessary. Family restaurant are normally based located near residential area and highways. So, mo to siya, no? Ang kaning siya nga family restaurant, of course, located siya sa kanang karsada or kanang di lang siya malaka o kanang like doon lang siya, di siya kasaingon nga layo, like highway ra gud siya, located sa highway. So operating hours are usually early evening to midnight. So the staff are friendly and efficient, so initial investment to medium to high. So mo siya no ang kanang kuan, like mga kanang kuan na siya basically mga ani mga family kay kanang na celebration like that. Ato sila kay of course ato sila mag-celebrate sa birthday, for example birthday sa mama or papa. So mo siya no occupy sila tanan. So sa restaurants mo na siya gitawag na itong family and commercial restaurant. So number 2, we have the coffee shops. So coffee shops are characterized by a fast food service. The decor is simple and the prices are very relatively low. It usually located in an office building or shopping mall. The rent is high, the staff are often minimally trained. The peak period of the coffee shop are lunch and coffee breaks. So operating hours are early morning to evening. A take-out service may be offered. So basically, coffee shops are located sa mga office buildings or shopping malls. Kay, of course, kanang mga employees, nga kanang di lang ta mag-breakfast kaya ato lang ko sa kanang sa office mag-coffee like that. So of course, to serve them, so na sila sa mga office building or mga shopping malls. So, one example of that is mga call centers. My friend was a call center, but daghang ko'y friends ka call center. So before na ko'y kanang karon o before na ko'y mga friends nga kanang call centers. So of course naman gid may mga kanang chika-chika na ana. So kuan sila nga kanang need coffee to make them alive ana ba. So mo siya no kanang one example of this kay Starbucks. So sa Cebu ilahang office kay kanang sa ubos kay na ay Starbucks. So before sila musod sa night shift months or graveyard shift. So of course before sila musod sa ilang duty, muhapit sa sila sa Starbucks to have a coffee or kanang during their coffee breaks, like of course diretso naman nila kay naraman sa ubos ang kanang Starbucks. So no choice sila kay need nila ang coffee, like ana gani gets ra. I hope nga something na no. Next is the cafeterias. So cafeterias are usually located in shopping centers and office buildings. Self-service is typically limited menus of soup, entries, dessert, and beverages. So basically, ang cafeteria is located sa school or kanang located sa shopping mall centers or office buildings. So of course, kaning of cafeteria kay self-service. So mukuha lang ka og tray, tray. So linya na ka diha magkuha og food ana na siya sa kasi among school before mo gihapon siya like nami cafeteria sa among school. So kanang maglinya lang mi kanang kuha mi sa among tray then kuha og food kay of course kanang busy ang mga tao so self-service siya kay of course ang gi-cater po nila is daghan po siya daghan nga mga tao so di lang siya usa so of course self-service amo to yung ani siya my experience before was kanang maglinya mi magkuan mi og kanang tray then kuha mi food kanang coffee or kanang kuan kanang mga pastries like that so gets ra like mao gihapon sa kuan akong friend before like iusa nila ilahang coffee break o kanang kuan dala na murag kanang kaon nga break so tapos sa cafeteria sa ilahang ubos sa kanang kuan office so mato akasabol na nila kay diretso na ang coffee din apoy mga food ana na sa cafeterias gets ra. Next is gourmet restaurant. So gourmet restaurant generally require a higher initial investment than other types of restaurant because they require an expensive ambience and decor. They cater to those who want a higher standard and are willing to pay the price. So basically, ang gourmet restaurant mo ni siya ang mga customers ng mga VIPs. Ang mga workers today is highly trained. That's because gourmet restaurant is not necessarily located sa mga 5-star restaurants or 5-star hotels like that. Kaya of course, ang mga tao diri is mga elite people, mga datu, mga naikaya. So wala siya no ang kanang ilang mga employees or mga worker kay highly trained is because ang ilang servant is mga unsaman mga datu mga kwartahan, mga managers. So, muna siya, ang gourmet restaurant ang naadiri. So, basically, ang gourmet restaurant is mga expensive. Like, di siya kaingon nga mga dato like ka-afford, of course, ka-afford gihapon ang mga average lang. Pero, ang dili sa gourmet restaurants is they serve high initial investment. So, dagko gud ilahang mga baligya. Kaya of course, ang mga tao palang daan is mga elite maka-afford. Okay? And of course, sa kanang to have a kanang successful gourmet restaurant. So, of course, mag-start gud na sa imuhang mga employees kay of course yung mga employees kay kibaw mo serve mo cater sa ilang sa mga customers which is legitimate customers mga elite di na siya makatawag nga gourmet restaurant kay of course sa service palang gidaan dili siya pang 5-star or dili siya kanang related sa ilahang mga dili siya kanang high standard ba like usa ka kanang cater kailangan anang sugaton nimo sila di na mo sila huguhaguan like imo nga silang serve like di na sila kailangan mo barog ikaw nagimudo uli lang nga sir yes what can I do what can I pack ala ba like kuan gud siya na train gud siya makaing mo na ang mga tao diri makaingod hello nindot siya like ako ni i-disseminate ng ilang kuan service diri kay lagi kaayo so kung mga friend nga ilang ana ba so of course og lami kag performance lami imong trabaho ma-spread din gina siya sa lain nga mga tao ipang kuan gina huy kana siya kay lami na sila nga kuan nindot sila service ana abdi kana na lami na siya mo kanang makeup ana na siya ang gourmet restaurant gourmet na siya gourmet okay. Next is ethnic restaurants. So, Ethnic restaurants feature the food of a specific region or country. They can be Chinese or classical French cuisine. The decor usually has an ethnic motif. So, kani siya nga ethnic restaurant. So, of course, ito, giingon ako ganina. Kani siya nga restaurant is, the theme is kanang related sa ilang what they serve sa mga food. Like, for example, I give you one example. Korean food, usa man samgyeopsal, mga mga sushi like that, mga kuan. Unsa man. So of course, the decoration is pang Korean food siya, like mga latter is Korean, like ang surroundings kay pang Korean, ang kuan kay Korean chopstick ana. So ang kani siyang ethnic restaurant, so na siya gitawag na to nga kanang kuan. Nana sila gi-follow nga sa country, like mao nang gina ilang i-serve. So like for example lagi to mao tourist kanang Korean food. So mo na lang pang serve Korean food ana. So another is Filipino food, like ato sa gawas, like my sister was kanang ko experience naay koan Korea kanang Pinoy restaurant siya ada. So of course ang mga Pinoy po dito makakaon nga po siya ala Pinoy nga mga food. So like koan Pinoy food or Japanese food and ana abang serve nila kay pang Japanese food. Of course the kanang decoration, the surroundings is all about kanang Japanese ko siya makaingon ka nga wala murag na ako sa Japan ana di ka mayon ka kanang tukod ka og kanang kuan ethnic restaurant kay imong gi-copy unya imong gift serve kay kanang kuan mga Filipino food pero ang imong decoration kay pang Korean or kanang pang Japanese ana. So of course murag wala siya na connect. So kani siya no is from decoration to food to worker ug unsa man ilahang kanang region, specific food or region sa country mao gyud siya like usa tanan. Like for example, talk example of Korean food. So Korean and Korean decoration, Korean ang kanang kuan, mga pangsuot nga whatever that sa Korean and so that is all.
Fast food restaurant. Fast food restaurants have increased in the past 20 years. As people have become more mobile, franchising is common in this type of restaurant. So what are the example of fast food restaurant that we have right now? Example of fast food restaurant is Jollibee and McDo, KFC, Greenwich, and Mang Inasal. So those are the types of fast food restaurant or quick service restaurant. Then pag sinasabi po nating fast food restaurant ay nagtatrabaho po sila in a long hour or in 7 days. And fast food restaurant po ay affordable lang po yung mga prices nila sa foods and yung like for example, Jollibee is I think yung spaghetti nila is 50 to 60 ang price. And commonly common in this type of restaurant is franchising. Franchising is pwede kang mag-invest sa isang establishment or kumuha ng isang license para mag-build ka ng iyong business. Deli shops. Deli shops provide delicacy food service combining traditional delicacy, cold meats and cheese with take-out sandwiches, salad, and similar items. Pag sinabi po natin delicacy is traditional foods. And example po sa traditional foods po ay sa Tacloban. Tacloban po is yung traditional food nila is binagol. Yun po yung delicacy nila. And delicacy is like mga kakanin. Makita natin yan yung mga kakanin sa gilid ng kalsada o pagkatapos ng simbang gabi. Yes, sa Maynila kasi yung yung mga pinagtitinda nila ay mostly pinagtitinda nila doon is mga kakanin, yung puto bongbong, mga ganyan. Yan po yung mga delikasin. Yan po yung delikasin. And some deli shops have limited seating capacity. They are usually located in shopping areas or office buildings. Capital investment is low. Deli shops have low labor cost because only 1 or 2 owners and employees are involved. So, ang deli shops is mababa lang po yung investment nila, and mostly po dalawa or isa lang po yung involved na business na ito. Buffet restaurant. Buffet restaurants are established on a completely self-service basis. However, if liquor, beer, and wine are offered, table and service for these beverages are provided. The food buffet is usually all you can eat, hot and cold food for one price. So, from the words buffet, ibig sabihin nun, all you can eat. So, yun lang po yung tatandaan natin. Basta buffet is all you can eat. And usually sa hotel, puro puro buffet restaurant. It will range 1,500, 800 or 900. And depende lang po yan sa capacity. And again, pag sinabi nating buffet restaurant is all you can eat. Transportation restaurant. There is a natural link between transportation and food service. Several restaurants are generally found along auto and bus transportation routes. They are also found at bus, rail, and air transportation buildings, as well as on transportation vehicles or trains and ships. Some transportation restaurants cater to tour groups, particularly bus tour groups. These restaurants can be quite profitable if the market can be maintained. They require special cafeteria or buffet type facilities so that arriving groups can be served quickly and continue their journey. When you say transportation restaurant, it is floating cabana. So, example of transportation restaurant is Lubok River Tour. So, Lubok River Tour matatagpuan yan sa Bohol. Sa Bohol. So pagpasok mo pa lang meron na silang restaurant, or they are serving a food while traveling. And another example of transportation restaurant is cruise line. So sa cruise line ay malaki at malawak yung restaurant nila. And so that will also under the transportation restaurant, it is the cruise line. And basta yung restaurant na nagbo-move or naka-float or traveling from one place to another, tawag doon is transportation restaurant.
Franchising. Franchise restaurants are a major component of the food service industry, particularly in fast food sector. When we say franchising, you are buying a license of a restaurant para makapag-operate ka din. Katulad ng McDo, Jollibee, ang dami ng mga franchise niyan. Ba't iba yung may-ari? As long as meron kang budget o pambili ng license, pwede ka mag-franchise. Franchises are beneficial to both franchisee to franchisor. Example, gusto mo magtayo ng negosyo, tapos ayaw mo magsimula sa scratch, pwede ka na lang mag-franchise sa mga kilalang restaurant. At least doon, sigurado ka nang kikita ka dahil kilala na yung business o kilala na yung restaurant.
Next is restaurant profitability. So first is food cost percentage. When we say food cost percentage, it is a percentage of raw materials that we create a dish. So mo ni siya ang atong percentage sa atong nagamit nga mga raw materials sa ato a dish. So it is often used to measure a restaurant's marketing success. It is determined by dividing the food cost for a period, a day, a week, a month, by the sales for the same period, and then multiply it by 100. So for example, ang atong dish kunuhay atong gamon is burger. So ang atong nagamit tanan sa ato raw materials is nag-cost is $1.20. So ang atong selling price or ang atong sales is $5. And then so ang giingon diri para makuha ang food cost percentage, i-divide kuno nato. So i-divide nato ang food cost sa sales or sa ato selling price. So i-divide nato ang $1.20 divided by $5. So pila man? So 0.24. So para jud makuha nato ang percentage, ato siya i-times sa 100. So 0.24 times 100 mao na ang atong food cost percentage is 24%. So next is gross profit. When we say gross profit, it is the selling price of an item less its food cost. So ang pagkuha aning atong gross profit kay ang imong total sales revenue i-minus nato siya sa atong the cost of goods sold. So for example class, ang atong total sales revenue is 150,000 pesos. So i-minus nato siya, for example ang atong cost of goods sold is 25,000 pesos. So atong i-minus ang 150,000 pesos, i-minus nato siya sa 25,000 pesos. So ang atong gross profit is 125,000 pesos. So mao na siya ang atong revenue left over after we deduct the cost of goods sold. So mao na siya class ang pagkuha sa gross profit.
Good day everyone, I'm Savannah Georgia Balmores. I'm here to report what is labor cost. So labor cost is the total wages, benefits, and payroll taxes to pay to and for all employees. It is divided into two categories, which are the direct and indirect labor cost. So direct labor cost are the wages paid to the employees that produce products and or services. So like for example, the direct labor, direct materials, and the manufacturing supplies. While the indirect labor costs are costs that facilitate the production, like for example, the rent, utilities, and general office expenses. So food service or food service structure are divided in three categories, which are the fast food, restaurant, cafeterias, and traditional service. So first is fast food restaurant. So fast food restaurant is popular because the food is inexpensive, convenient, and tasted good. So ang example niya like McDonald's, KFC, or Jollibee. So, ang under sa fast food restaurant ay independent and chain. So, in my own opinion, independent daw kay it is owned by sole proprietorship or usa lang ang owner ani niya. While ang chain kay kanang own ni siya sa usa ka corporate or sometimes na mga franchises. In cafeteria naman kay people have to serve themselves from the selection of food that is already available. So, ang kalahian sa cafeteria and the traditional restaurant kay ang traditional restaurant is a restaurant is considered as establishment for a fine dining or a place where people would serve the customer. So, ang restaurant daw kay you can choose and dili siya already cook. May kalahian nila sa cafeteria. So, under the traditional service na atay independent o in hotel. So, independent is like what I said earlier nga, ang independent is owned by a sole proprietorship. So, sa independent daw na po daw tayo two categories, which are the ethnic restaurant and the local restaurant. So the ethnic restaurant these are the specialty restaurant, not necessarily fine dining, which serve ethnic delicacies of a region, primarily in a natural setting inspired by a local culture. While ang local restaurant food, kay it is locally owned by a restaurant, means an eating establishment at least 51% is owned by one or more resident of the state, and that is not a chain restaurant. So let's proceed to in-hotel. Ang in-hotel restaurant traditional services kay mo ni siya ang mga restaurant ka nasad siya hotel. So like for example, minimal service. Kung iyong kag minimal service, mo ni siya ang restaurant nga hotel lang ang naa. Ang kalahian nila sa full service kay, like for example, Square View Hotel, naa siya pool, naa siya bar, naa siya hotel, at also naa siya restaurant.
Next is average guest check. So another profitability measure used in restaurant is the average guest spending or average guest check. Average guest spending is calculated by dividing the total revenue received for a particular period, a day, a week, a month, or a year, by the total number of guests served during that period. For example, class, 350 guests are served dinner and the total revenue received $3,610. So, ang pangutana is how much the average will be spent. So, muna ni Ron. So, ang pagkuha sa average guest check, kay i-divide na daw nato ang atong total revenue nga na-receive, i-divide nato siya sa atong guest nga atong na-serve, which is, pila man, 350 ang atong guest. Unya, ang atong total revenue nga na-receive, kay $3,610. So, i-divide na to, ang 3,610 divided by 350, mauning nakuha na to, 10.31. So, mauning ang atong average spending will be 10.31.
Airplane galley. So, Douglas was the first one who designed airplane galley back on 1936. Galley means kitchen in a ship or food preparation area on airplane. So, diha nila i-prepare ang mga pagkaon, pag-decorate sa pagkaon na diha tanan sa galley sa airplane. Next is meals. Mo gihapon, meals are prepared on the ground and iputang nila sa what do you call this? Insulated containers ang hot and cold nga mga food. So, ang food nga for hot, ngadto lang sa hot containers. Of course, cold is para lang sa cold containers. Sa aircraft nila, mawagya po sa aircraft ibutang. So, naka-container lang siya daan. Next is, in World War II, gintroduce na sa large ng mga aircraft ang call this refrigerator and oven. So, kung sa una, naka-insulated lang, containers, karon na ref. Ang World War II, na refrigerator and oven. So, pwede na nila ibutang ang food, i-reheat na lang nila ngadto, and ang mga cold na pagkaon, pwede na nila ibutang or i-stock nila sa refrigerator.
Airline kitchen. The first airline flight kitchen was opened in the late 1930s near Washington, D.C. May usa ka businessman na Marriott. Nasa restaurant near sa airport. So, napansin niya ang mga passengers mukaw na sa jud usa ang ilang flight. Kaysa una, wapa joy ka ng flight kitchen. So, ito he approached Eastern Airline and offered lunch boxes to Eastern passengers. Eastern Airline agreed. Mao to, na-establish na ang first flight kitchen. At present, Marriott flight service approximately 100 flight kitchens around the world cater on 150 different airlines and serve 100 million meals a year. So mo to no kakuan si Marriott mo to yung Estonia itong sa iyang restaurant near sa Eastern Airline mo to established the first airline kitchen. Pero sa ubang companies no na sila kaugalingong airline kitchen ang uban pod magkontract sila sa ubang companies para magamit sa ilang airline kitchen.
Differences between the airline catering and restaurant caterings. So, airline caterings is that lutuon siya daan, ngari pa lang sa ground, and then iserve na siya ngadto na sa airline. Restaurant is lutuon siya, but immediately iserve dayon ang food sa customer. Dili paras aning airline caterings nga luto, tas serve pa pila ka hours or several hours pa siya, ni mo ma-serve kung kinsa ra say mo order ngadto sa airplane.
For restaurant promotion, these are the promotion that you can use near future. Example, ikaw, maghimo kag restaurant. Unsaon nimo pagpaila sa ubang tao? Unsaon nimo nila pag kahibaw? Pwede ka mo gamit og social media. I-post nimo Facebook, Twitter, sa ubang online platform, himo kag online shop. So, pero nakadepende ka po na sa budget no. If dako kag budget, pwede ka gamit. Pwede nimo ipakuan sa TV. If low budget lang, pwede nimo sa newspaper. Pero sa airline companies no, nila dyan sa mga kasagaran sa ilang restaurant promotion, na dyan sa travel magazine, mo din ang ilaha pa rin. Pero sa ubang mga promotion na kakamutante is the word of mouth. Kay example, yung friend yung sakay sa Osaka airline companies, so nindot ka sila mga meals, service, uban pa. So paggawa sa niya, iyan ay pangsulti sa yung mga ubang friends na sakay mo kay nindot sila service, nindot sila mga pagkaon, mo pinaka-importante sa ako ang word of mouth para sa promotion sa uban sa atong restaurant or ubang establishment para maka-ibaw ang uban sa kanindot atong negosyo.